Hi guys, my name is Vineet and welcome to the file system series. So in this series we will be developing program related to the file system operations, which is creating a file, inserting data into file and also reading data from file. So these are the basic operations which we will be performing using Java programs. So let's get started with the file system series. So let's create Java projects with the name file system. So I don't want any module info as of now, and let's create one package and let's give that name as ai.vini.session1. Now the basic operation of file we have, first one is create file, and the second one we have write to file, and third read from file. So you can see whatever basic operation we have created. For those operations we have created a separate Java file to follow the single responsibility principle. Now let's create one public package which will be responsible to create the file. Public static void, and method name will be create. So the input parameter will be string file name. So the first responsibility of this method will be convert this string file into file object. So new file, and you can see this file is expecting this file constructor is expecting as input as string. So we have string here with file name. Now we have to check whether this file is created or not. So this line number 10 is throwing input output exception. So guys, I will be explaining about exception in different videos. As of now I'm just throwing it, and if it is created, so we have to pass one message here saying successfully. Actually it should be successfully created, it should not be successfully, but file created. And it will be good if we give the name of file. So we'll get the name of file from the file class using get name method. And if it is not created, it will create and it will display the name saying file created with the file name. And if it is already created, then we have to pass message file already exist. And also it will be good if we pass the file name so that we can identify which file is already created and exist. File dot get file name. So we have done with the creation of file logic. Now let's write something in this file, but first we have to check whether this logic is working fine or not. So let's call this create method. Create, let's give file name as demo1.demo.txt. So let's open the console. Let's run this program file created with name demo.txt, but where it is created we don't know, right? Let's refresh this. So this file is here, and if it is inside this folder, you can see. So we have to create one resource folder here, so that we can keep all the files into this folder, resources. So let's copy this name and pass it here. Should be concat of string. Now let's refresh this project, and you can see we have the same file inside this resource folder. So I'm deleting this demo.txt file. Now we have to keep all the files inside resources folder. That's why I'm giving static name here. And if you found that it's not relevant, so we can remove it and create outside of resource. So it's working fine. I'm removing main method here. Now let's write another operation, that is writing data into file. So we'll be writing public static void write, and the method name will be string. Method name will be write, and the input parameter is string file name. So in the first step we have to use Filewriter to write data into file. So let's use Filewriter, new Filewriter. So it's saying in which file you want to write the data, so we can pass it here. So is it expecting string? File name boolean append. So let's give here file name, and it's already it is also throwing input output exception, so I'm just throwing it to caller method. Now the next work is we have to use Filewriter to write the data into file. So this write method, we have string, right? So we have to pass here any data that we want to write into this file, but you can see we are passing it here static data. So that's not a good naming convention. If we pass static data, so this write into file method will not be useful for another clients. So we should not do that. That will not be a good programming practice. We have to create here separate parameter, that is write data to write. So let's pass here data to write. Now this is a dynamic, any client can call this method, and they just need to pass a file name and the data that they want to store into that file. That's it. Now after this we have to close this Filewriter. Now let's pass one message here, suc successfully file, and it will be good if we pass it here the file name. Sorry. Now this logic is also done. Now let's main method to test this logic. So we have to use write to file class to call write method. Now we have method, we have this file name as demo.txt. Now let's pass any data that we want to write into file. I guess we have to throw this, we have to catch this exception here so that it will reduce the work of catching in all the handler. So you can see here demo.txt is empty as of now, there is no end data. So let's write the data. Hi, I'm from Java and writing data using Filewriter. So from here we have to give new line. Okay, now we have done this. Let's run this program and check whether it's working fine or not. So successfully wrote to the file demo.txt. Now let's verify, but first we have to refresh our project. Oh, it's again created outside. Why it's not created inside? So again we have done the same mistake here. We have to pass it the same resources here, otherwise it will create new file. .concat. Right now we are just writing the business logic. Once we will be once we're done with this logic, so we'll be doing code cleanup activity. So now let's delete this, which is outside of resource. Now let's rerun this program, and yes, now refresh this project and open. Now you can see we have we have message, we have data whatever we pass from write to file and write to file class, that is stored into this demo.txt file. Now let's remove this main method because this logic is also working fine. Now let's get started with another operation, that is read from file. So here also we have to write the public method with the name as read. So we'll be passing here file name that we want to read using this logic. So for this we have to create one scanner class which will be read from the file scanner.new scanner. So you can see this scanner is expecting resource as string. So let's pass here file name. Now file name is not here only, we have to pass this folder as well. So this file will be inside this resource folder. So let's pass resources dot concat now let's write here while condition, and let's say scanner, do you have next line? If it is saying yes I have, so it will be true. So we'll be printing that line inside this while loop. So scanner dot next line. Now let's write a main method to test this logic as well. So we'll be passing read from file dot read, and we have to pass it here file name. File name will be demo.txt. So let's run this program and verify whether we are getting in data from file. So right now we are not getting in data because this is as string, so we have to convert this into file. So new file, and we have to pass this here, and this is also throwing file not found exception. So this demo also throwing file not found exception because from this main method we are calling this read method. So if this will throw exception, so we have to catch it here, otherwise we have to throw it here to the JVM. So you can see we are able to read the data from this demo.txt file. See, hi, I am from Java, and writing data from Filewriter. So this is done, but we have to do here a code cleanup activity. So let's do that. So here we are concatenating this thing. We should not do that here. This will remain same. So wherever we are calling these method, we'll append the resource folder from there as well. So let's not give this, so it will increase our work more. We will just pass file name, and also create file is this, write file is this. And one more thing, I just want to handle this using try and catch block instead of throwing this. So let's do it here, try and catch. So we have to give the name, the error message, and occurred. So let's give error message whatever we are getting from these lines of exception. Get message. This get message will give the message that will be a cause of exception. So we can give the same line to other operation as well. So let's not throw it to the caller method. Try catch. Okay, so here also we have to make it little simple and readable. So while writing the program, we have to take care of the complexity and the reusability of code. So this is done. Now let's remove main method here. Do we have main method here? No, we don't have. Now let's write client method, client program. So session 1 client So inside this method we will be calling each and every method of this file operation, each and every in the sense these three operations that we have created. So let's use main method. Now the first step will be create new file, and the second step will be write data in file and read data from file. So these are the operations that we have to perform. So let's call these methods, these operations. So first create file dot create method. Now we have to pass it here file name. So file name will be sample dot txt. The another operation is write to file dot write. Again we have to pass sample dot txt and the data that we have to write. So hi everyone, I'm from Java. I'm Vineet, working on file system series. So here we have to give a new line, and how about you. So this is the message that we want to store into file. Now we have to read data from file, and file name will be sample.txt. but you can see we are passing here sample.txt. It should not be visible that which file we are passing. So we can do one more thing here. Instead of doing this, we can create here constant. So that we can keep the static name inside that constant. It should not be a class, it should be an interface. Constants. So let's, whatever name we are passing here, we can pass this inside this interface. So string, let's give this as this. So let's rename this file sample file name sample. This is a good programming convention. If you're keeping your static variable into one single file, so you can see here whatever hard code value you are passing, now it can override by this constant of class. Now it's readable and it make sense. So this, and also this will be this will reduce the your error. Might be while typing the name of file here, might be you will do some mistakes, you will miss the spelling. So there is no chance if you pass these file name into constants, and you can pass this constant. So to across the methods your file name will remain same. So here this is the static data to write. Now it depends upon your client at which type of data you want to pass. That's why we are keeping it here in client. So data to write. Now this is these are the client. This is the client that we have to test, but I want to just write one more line here. I'm from India. It should be from, and where are you from? So let's test this file, but first we have to pass it here resource. If you remember, resource name will be string, and resources is resources, and we can do here sample name. So we can create this here only. So let's create one getter, generate getter. Oh, it's interface, so we will not be able to create getter here. So we can do, instead of creating getter, we can concat resources dot concat. So we are concating resources with the file name. Now your file name will be complete, which will be holding resources as well. Now there is no need to pass resources here or anywhere, so we are handling everything here only. Resource dot concat. So resource is this, and now let's run this client and test whether all the operation is working fine or not. So we have demo. Now it should be sample.txt file inside resource folder. So you can see file created with sample.txt successfully wrote to the file resource sample.txt. Hi everyone, I'm from. So this is a reading operation. We should segregate it using any delimiter. So let's pass copy. Now let's delete this existing file and rerun our client. Delete. Now let's verify this changes. So file created with sample.txt. Let's refresh this and verify whether sample.txt is there or not. Yeah, it's there. Successfully wrote to the file resource.sample.txt. So let's check inside resource.sample.txt, and yeah, whatever things we have passed here in client, so it's there, and we should give the new line here. Now let's rerun this. See, file already exists, and the new line the data that we are trying to write into this sample.txt file. So it's all also done, and let's verify. Yeah, you can see, hi everyone, I am Vineet, working on file system series. SERIE, the spelling is little bit wrong. Series, how about you? And I'm from India, where are you from? So it's working fine. Series. And one more thing that I want to do here, you can see I'm writing here hi, and I'm rerunning this program. See, it's there. But if I'm writing from here, hi everyone, and I'm rerunning this client, so everyone is not there. You can see, if I'm going here, you remember I wrote here everyone. So this is just because of while writing file we have to pass it here one parameter, that is append. So by default append is, if append is true, you can see here the first is file and second is append. If it is true, the byte will be written to the end of the rather than beginning. Okay, so here now we have to pass it here file name, and append should be true. So now whatever your existing data is there, it will append the data with the last line. Now let me write it here, everyone. Okay, now in this file we have everyone up to everyone, and in code we are not writing everyone, but let's write, and whatever this logic we are this data that we are trying to write, it will append next to this line here. So let me pass new line here. Now it will start writing from here. So let's rerun this client. You can see hi everyone, and again the new data is written from here. So if we are keep running, it will keep appending data, it will not override the data. See, the length of output is keep increasing. See, hi, we have 4 times these lines, and if we do again, so it will keep appending data. So if we change it to false, where it is, if we change it to false, so it will override the data and the new data will be inserted, the older data will get removed. See, so this is what this true and false appender will do. So it depends upon you and your use case, that you want to append the data into your file or you want to override the data. So we have done with this video, guys, and I hope this video will be useful for you, and in upcoming video we'll be performing more operation of files and the directories. It will be very fun for you guys, and thank you so much, and stay tuned for another videos.